President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to preside over the official opening of the 2019 edition of the Nairobi International Trade Fair at the Jamhuri Park off Ngong Road today.
Now, the event, which enters its third day today, has brought together both local and international exhibitors under the theme Promoting Innovation and Technology in Agriculture and Trade.
The fair will come to an end on Sunday.
And of course, moving on, a motion seeking to review the mandatory retirement age in the public service from the current 60 years to 50 finds its way to the National Assembly this morning.
The motion has been proposed by Starehe Member of Parliament Charles Njagua, popularly known as Jaguar, who cites the high unemployment rate among the youth.
Also before Parliament this morning is the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill 2019, which will be going through the first reading.
The bill is sponsored by Homa Bay Woman Representative Gladys Wanga.
All right, of course, now moving on, a media roundtable forum on prevention of cervical cancer is currently underway at the Pan Afric Hotel here in Nairobi.
Experts in the area are taking media practitioners through various steps towards prevention of cervical cancer, including HPV vaccine and regular screening.
And the roundtable comes ahead of a scheduled national rollout of the HPV vaccine by the government this year.
Members of Parliament from the Mount Kenya region will this morning address the media on several socio-economic issues affecting the people of the region.
Now, cases of increased insecurity and infrastructure development are expected to feature in that discussion.
This event will be held at a Parliament's media center.
And today is International Day of Non-Violence, the same date as the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, leader of the Indian independence movement and pioneer of the philosophy and strategy of non-violence.
The date was designated by the United Nations to disseminate the message of non-violence, including through education and public awareness.
The resolution reaffirms the universal relevance of the principle of non-violence and the desire to secure a culture of peace, tolerance, and understanding.
Now, we have been teasing this for the better part of the show today, and right now it's time to hear from our reporter Fred Kai, joining us live from Mombasa with an update on what we can expect from that region today. Kai?
Shukran sana Sam na Shiksha back in studio. Na tuko maeneo ya Ferry kama kawaida. Tulianza hii shughuli tokea Jumapili hadi leo, na kwa sasa basi familia bado iko maeneo haya ikiweza tu kusubiria ili vipi basi pengine juhudi zile ambazo zinaendelezwa na wapiga mbizi, iwapo basi kutakuwa na lolote la kuweza kuona kama wataweza kupata miili ya wapendwa wao na kuweza kuipata na kuweza kwenda kuistiri kwa pamoja. Na ni kwamba tokea juzi tangia shughuli hii iweze kuanza ya kuweza kutafuta miili hii pamoja na gari hili, basi ni kwamba hadi leo ama hadi wa leo basi wapiga mbizi bado hawajaona sehemu ile gari ilipo, na wanaweza kusema kwamba wanaweza kujitahidi vilivyo kuona kwamba iwapo basi wataweza kuona gari ile, ili ndio posa basi waweze kuanza zoezi zima la kuweza kutoa ama kutafuta ile miili. Na tumeweza kuona kwamba jana waliweza kutuambia kwamba walikuwa washaiona, lakini leo taarifa ambayo tunaweza kuzipata kwamba ni kwamba gari ile bado hawajaiona, na ndipo basi waliweza kupanga sehemu mbili ambazo ndio sehemu kuu ambazo wataweza kufanya uchunguzi wao, na iwapo basi wataona gari ile ndipo kazi iweze kuanza mara moja. Na tumeweza kuongea tu na msemaji wa serikali, ameweza kutuambia kwamba kwa sasa tu wapigaji mbizi wanajitahidi vilivyo kuona, wanajitahidi kadri ya uwezo wao kuona kwamba wataweza kupata, na wanatuambia kwamba chini ya bahari basi kwa sasa ni hali si hali, kwa sababu kuna maji ni machafu, pia visibility ilikuwa ni ngumu kuona kwa wapigaji mbizi, na vile vile kile kina kimekuwa kirefu zaidi. Na tunaweza kujiunga tu na baadhi ya Wakenya waweze kutuambia fika, je, zoezi hili ambalo linaendelea kwa sasa wanaliona ni zoezi ambalo lina kutia moyo, ama kwa wao wanaona kwamba pengine itakuwa tu ni kama tunaweza sema kama ni mchezo? Maana kuanzia juzi mpaka sasa hakuna lolote linaweza kuendelea. Na moja kwa moja naweza kujiunga na Hussein Khalid, pengine utaweza kutueleza tu fika kwa sasa, je, una imani tu na zoezi ambalo linaendelezwa kutokea juzi mpaka sasa?
Kusema kweli, kila siku zikizidi kupita na masaa yakizidi kuendelea, imani inazidi kupungua, kwa sababu hawa mama na mtoto wake, hii ni siku ya 3 sasa ambapo bado wako ndani ya 4 bado wako baharini, na kila kukicha tunapokea ahadi na bidii, juhudi wanasema wanafanya, lakini hatueni mafanikio yoyote. Kusema kweli, hivi sasa jambo ambalo linatushughulisha zaidi ni tuweze kupata hii miili ili familia waweze kuendelea kuishi, lakini imani inazidi kupungua na tunataka serikali iongeze juhudi katika yale yanayoendelea.
Naam, pale jana tuliweza kuambia kwamba waliweza kushuka chini na wakaliona gari. Leo habari zinakuja za kukinzana kwamba hawajaona gari. Na sasa hii wanaweza kwa na maeneo mawili ambayo wameweza kuhakiki kwamba pengine huenda gari liko pale. Pengine kwa mwajibu wako, je, walikuwa wanaweza kutudanganya ndiposa tunani, ama unaona kwa kweli unaona ni nini haswa?
Naam, habari ambazo zinajitokeza hivi sasa ni kwamba watu wamekuwa wakihadaiwa kuhusu yale ambayo yanafanyika, kwa sababu juzi tuliambiwa tayari wametambua lile gari liko sehemu gani, kisha tukaambiwa kuna sehemu 2 ambazo wanafuatilia. Jana jioni tukaambiwa kuna sehemu 14 ambazo zinaweza kuwa ni hiyo. Leo asubuhi tena tumeelezewa kwamba hawana chochote, wanaanza sasa ile shughuli. Kwa hivyo hatujapata ukweli wa mambo ulivyo, na kama watetezi wa haki na familia pia tuko na wasiwasi mkubwa, kwa sababu imani inazidi kupungua. Tunataka serikali waongeze bidii ili hili swala liweze kutatuliwa.
Naam, tumeweza kuona kwamba kwa sasa ferry zimeweza uchukuzi umeweza kukatizwa kwa masaa. Pale jana walituambia kwamba watakatiza uchukuzi kwa muda wa masaa 2 ndipo wapatie wapiga mbizi muda mwafaka wa kuweza kufanya kazi. Je, huoni pia hiyo nao pia ni jambo mojawapo la kuona kwamba pia uchumi wa Mombasa pia unaweza kutatizwa?
Kweli kabisa, kwamba haya mambo yametendeka na si ya kufurahisha sana, lakini pia tunajua ikiwa tunataka hili swala liweze kutatuliwa, kuna umuhimu wa hizi shughuli ziweze kusitishwa, kwa sababu wale divers wanaofanya kazi yao wanahitaji nafasi ya kuweza kufanya hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo ndio uchumi unaendelea kuharibika, lakini kwa muda mchache tunajaribu kuwa na subra. Jambo ambalo tunataka ni serikali wafanye mambo ya uhakika. Mambo ya kubahatisha haitusaidii kivyo vyote.
Shukrani sana kwa muda wako. Naam, Sam, umeweza kusikia kutoka kwa mkereketo wa Mombasa ambao anaweza kusema kwamba kwa sasa basi wanapoteza imani kutokana na shughuli nzima venye inaendelezwa, kwa sababu tumeweza kuona kwamba jana waliweza kutuambia kwamba wameona gari, leo wanatuambia bado hawajaona. Kwa hivyo taarifa hizi kinzani zinaweza kuwamtoa moyo yule mwanafamilia, ijapokuwa tu pale jana waliweza kuongea kwamba wana imani na serikali kwamba watafanya juu chini kuhakikisha kwamba gari basi linaweza kupatikana na miili pia vile vile kuweza kutolewa, na ndipo basi waweze kuende kuistiri maeneo yale ya Taita. Na kwa hivyo tutaweza kukaa mahali hapa tuweze kuangalia tu yanayojiri na tuweze kufuatilia zoezi zima hili, na endapo basi chochote kitaweza kutokea hatutasita kumjuza Mkenya yanayojiri kutoka kaunti 001. Kutoka hapa na karegesheni kwenye studio Sam na Shiksha.
Thank you very much, Fred Kai, for that update. Of course, questions are being asked as to why there hasn't been any proper communication with regards to the same. And of course, you know, it is quite sad to note that once again, it's back to square one today, as the man had mentioned, that the government has been communicating, and of course, no clarity has been given so far.
We'll be getting more from Mombasa County today. Now, police in Uasin Gishu are holding a man suspected of killing a college student whose body was found dismembered and dumped a few meters from her home in Moy's Bridge.
The murder sparked off violent demonstrations along the Kitale-Eldoret highway, accusing police of laxity, claiming that the suspect had been arrested previously for a similar crime but later released.
The suspect is expected in court today.
Jumwa rubbishes ODM return Malindi MP, that is Aisha Jumwa, I beg your pardon, has denied reports that she has returned to ODM following her surprise meeting with ODM party leader Raila Odinga.
Pictures of the rebel MP, who no longer identifies with the ODM party, had been widely shared online, causing jitters in several quarters. Rumor was rife that she had ditched a DP's Ruto camp after Odinga visited her at the Parliamentary Service Commission office.
Jumwa says Odinga's visit was unexpected after he attended the ODM parliamentary group meeting at County Hall, which she was not part of.
Interesting times.
Definitely.
As they say, politics 24 hours is quite a long time. However, police in Tigania, Meru County, are looking for a 31-year-old man who went on the rampage and ran over 6 women at Muriri Market using a Probox vehicle before stabbing 2 men, killing one, I beg your pardon, on the spot.
The motive of the attack by the suspect, who is a well-known trader at the market, remains unknown, but witnesses say the man had earlier received threats from some herders who accused him of ramming into the camels and killing one animal. Victor Olo
has that report.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In an incident that left residents of Muriri Market in shock, a 31-year-old businessman who is well known at the trading center turned against the same people he has always interacted with for several years, killing one of them and leaving several others nursing serious injuries. According to eyewitnesses, the suspect, identified as Joshua Kileru, without any provoking, suddenly drove his Toyota Probox vehicle into a group of women vegetable vendors at the busy market, running over 4 women and 3 men.
Baada ya mambo ya ngamia, jana around saa 9 3 PM hapo jione, hakuna yule alielewa, maana alichukua gari yake na akafunika number plate.
As if that was not enough, the enraged man is reported to have disembarked from the vehicle wielding a sword and stormed into a nearby butchery where he stabbed the attendant on the chest, leaving him fighting for his life before confronting another man and stabbing him on the left side of his chest, killing him on the spot.
Lakini watu walipika nduru wakati ile aliingia pale kwa ile butchery ya Njaradu. Watu wakaingia na kupika kelele. Hiyo chief akasema usiesi toka uangalie ile watu wataishia hapa kwa mdomo wako.
Tigania East Police Boss Peter Karanja, who confirmed the incident, said that they had spread the search for the assailant to neighboring Isiolo County, where he's alleged to have visited a local hospital seeking treatment for unspecified injuries.
If there is any person who has his whereabouts, let him assist us, because as from yesterday, we are still pursuing this person. Area residents, led by Pastor Sami Karau of Muthara Pastors Fellowship, held an open-air crusade to pray for the assailant and victims of the attack, saying that the suspect might have been bewitched. Meanwhile, police in Uasin Gishu County are holding a man for allegedly murdering a college student whose mutilated body was found dumped a few meters from her parents' home in Moise Bridge. The suspect, who was only identified as Mustafa, is alleged to have been angered after the lady turned down his marriage proposal. He will be arraigned before an Eldoret court tomorrow. Victor Lo, K24.
Quite unfortunate.
Very disturbing indeed.
Quite unfortunate. And in the course of the day yesterday and even moving into this morning, there has been an interesting hashtag that has been doing rounds online.
Right.
It's all about what some called it an abnormal wind that blew yesterday. And I tell you, vitu kwa ground, different kabisa. But in a bit, we shall be letting you know on what happens. But right now, let's give you pictures that we are getting live from Mombasa. And we can see some divers there who are, members of the press are following up on a diver, particularly assigned this mission to retrieve bodies of 2, that is a mother and her daughter, who fell victim of the unfortunate incident on Sunday when their vehicle plunged into the Indian Ocean. Remember earlier, as Colonel Cyrus Oguna did briefed the nation that a lot will be happening in terms of salvage operations today, and we expect a lot from Mombasa moving forward.
Definitely. So yes, on your screen right now, we can see the retrieval operations still ongoing, and we're going to be giving you more details later on in our subsequent bulletins.
Now, panic gripped various parts of the country after strong winds hit the air, causing a major dust storm that was experienced as far as the northeastern parts of neighboring Tanzania.
Now, the Kenya Meteorological Department sent out an alert soon after the storm, warning the public to stay away from trees, fabricated signs and temporary structures.
Now, according to the report, power was cut out in some areas to avoid any mishaps after the strong winds blowing from the Indian Ocean damaged various installations, and the phenomenon is commonly experienced in the arid and semi-arid regions and happens when a gust front or other strong winds blow loose sand and dirt from a dry surface.
A similar phenomenon was experienced in October 2017 along the coastal regions and its environs.
And I tell you, Shiksha, there is nobody talking about the weaves and just sample the feedback. Let me not get there right now.
You're going to get into trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Well, for now, it's time to take you to Twitter and tell you what's happening. At K24 TV is where you're going to find us. Remember, you can tweet or send us a Facebook message as well. The hashtag is K24 Daily Brief. Talk to us, interact with us, and let's get right into it, especially Twitter, and take a look at the top trending hashtags for the past few hours, where hashtag Ferry tragedy has been trending. And at Solo_Ambuku says, this is a glaring, blatant negligence by Kenya Ferry, who should be held culpable for criminal negligence. Management of the Kenya Ferry at the hashtag Likoni Ferry crossing has sunk to an all-time low. Moving on, we've got another tweet there from at Mboko Mishi, who says, no amount of words can explain how heartbreaking the manner in which Miriam Kigenda and her daughter lost their lives. It depicts how unprepared we are as a country when it comes to disaster management. And of course, we've got another one there from at It's Washe, who says, apart from displaying fantasies during national holidays, tell other roles of Kenya Navy in this country. So right now, Kenya Navy is definitely bearing the brunt of this particular tragedy. At Karani Mutonga, who goes on to say that what is making me angry about the Likoni Ferry tragedy is that 2 lives were lost in a situation that would have been salvaged. Moving on, at Steve Ogolo, who says, even if we are the poorest of the poor and without facilities, it would have been better to have 1,000 men die while attempting to rescue than to watch helplessly. This is just so sad. Sad indeed is the only word that can be used to describe what happened on Sunday evening. Moving on, at Stella Abraham, who says, well, that's another tweet that we will definitely be sampling later on another topic altogether. So for now, we have been focusing on the Likoni tragedy, and of course, we are getting your feedback when it comes to the same. So hashtag you can interact with us on hashtag K24 Daily Brief and talk to us on the same. Remember, it is very important that we keep discussing this right here on K24 TV. And of course, Samuel is going to be continuing with the rest of the briefing for now.
You know, I was waiting for you to just move to the hashtag Dusty Storm, because therein lies a feedback, and we'll be in a position to know exactly what happened yesterday and the feeling of Kenyans as far as this is concerned, and who lost what in the course of that weather condition. Shiksha, I don't know whether you lost anything, but you'll be telling us in just that. Okay, you're right, Shiksha. Do you have something? Do you have something online?
I think I should be having some feedback on the dust storm, since you're very curious to know of the same. So yes, let's take a look at what Peter Omolo goes on to say. He says, Team Mafisi taking opportunity in every chance they get. Ati utaenda home na hiyo upepo yote. This has to be someone who is, Samuel's friend because they're thinking along the same lines. We've got another one at Habash who says, nilikuwa kwa my Uber chap chap Jogoo Road kidogo kidogo nimejipata JKIA juu ya hiyo sandstorm. Kenyans honestly are very quick to rise to, you know, such scenarios, and of course they never disappoint. We've got at Mami Moha who says persons with 50 kgs or less are advised to stay indoors to avoid being swept away. Well, guess what? I think I managed to be safe because I have surpassed that threshold that Moha has talked about. So yes, we're going to be taking you back to Samuel Joroge. Who did you get your answers that you were looking for from those feedback tweets that you had been awaiting for a long time?
Shiksha, let's just have a conversation after the show.
All right.
You will share with me your experience with the dust storm yesterday. And of course, a lot has been said in as far as this issue is concerned. And we shall be getting to that hashtag in the course of the show and getting more from you. How was your experience yesterday as you went through that storm? So you can share that with us. You can use either hashtag Dusty Storm or you can use hashtag K24 Daily Brief. Now let's take you back to Parliament, the National Assembly to be precise. And right now we've got the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Amendment Bill, and currently contributing is Kiharu Member of Parliament, that is Dinde Nyoro.
Mr. Speaker, just to cite one sector, like banking. We have private banks and we have a sector making supernormal profits. And Mr. Speaker, if you look again at the banks that are owned by the public or the government, Mr. Speaker, who are actually based in a very profitable sector, most of them are making losses. Mr. Speaker, we have to delineate the two, Mr. Speaker, the government to concentrate on regulation, to concentrate on having an enabling environment for the private sector, and leave the private sector to do the bulk of the work insofar as the growth of the economy is concerned. Mr. Speaker, because I know there are so many people who would want to contribute to this bill, I do not want to talk much because I had already had many more minutes there before. But Mr. Speaker, I know that this bill will go a long way, Mr. Speaker, into delivering our country from where we are now, Mr. Speaker, to deliver our country on, and to put it on the path of growth, Mr. Speaker, when we deal with the corrupt in the crude manner that we ought to deal with them. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that chance, and I call upon Honorable Sankok, Mtoto wa Mungu, to second.
Honorable Sankok. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And on the onset, I want to second this very important bill, Honorable Speaker, that will rid our country of massive corruption, which is a cancer that is eating us as a country. Honorable Speaker, the import of this bill, Honorable Speaker, is basically to make sure that those who steal from the public are not fined only less than 1 million, but it should be more than 1 million. The jail term increases from at least 10 years to over 10 years, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the issue of corruption in our country cannot be overemphasized, Honorable Speaker. It is a cancer that make sure that we don't have drugs in our hospital. Honorable Speaker, salaries nowadays to get in our county government is a problem because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, even access to government procurement opportunity, a very well-intended policy, Honorable Speaker, that was supposed to hold the hands of the weaker members of our society. Access to government procurement opportunities by women, youth, and persons with disability, Honorable Speaker, due to corruption. This very nice policy and law is not jump-starting the economy of our poorest members of our society simply because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is through corruption that we don't have divers in the coast. The coast guards don't have equipment to save the 2 lives that we lost in the coast, Honorable Speaker, because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. A car in the coast in Likoni Ferry, Honorable Speaker, floated for almost more than 5 minutes. But because of corruption, Honorable Speaker, there were no divers around. There were the Coast Guards that was just launched the other day were not around, Honorable Speaker, and even the managing director or the CEO of the Kenya Ferry Service had the audacity to come and address the media, Honorable Speaker, because corruption in our country is like something that is the day-to-day life, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that is why this law is very important for us to amend as a House, Honorable Speaker, to deter people from corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because of corruption, the government itself have become the greatest encroacher of our forest, Honorable Speaker. In Mao Forest, there are schools built by the government. There are roads built by the government. There are, Honorable Speaker, electricity connected by the government inside the forest, because corruption is inbuilt in our own government system, Honorable Speaker. Title deeds were issued, Honorable Speaker, of government forest, because to us, corruption is a lifestyle, and that people can get away with corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because if you find, Honorable Speaker, someone who have stolen billions, 1 million Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker, they already have the money, because they have already stolen, Honorable Speaker. We have not been able to deter corrupt individuals in our country because our law is not deterrent enough for those corrupt individuals, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have come from very many fronts of fighting corruption, Honorable Speaker, through social media, Honorable Speaker, and we have failed. Through lifestyle audit, Honorable Speaker, we have failed, Honorable Speaker. Through banning Arambes, Honorable Speaker, we have not succeeded, Honorable Speaker, because we have been fighting a losing battle. The best way is to enact relevant laws and to amend relevant laws that will deter this corrupt individual, Honorable Speaker. We have gone to a popularity media spree of claiming that people are carrying money in sacks to churches, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, if your faith allows you to carry in paper bag, the churches have not denied you that opportunity, Honorable Speaker. We have gone to certain levels. The churches have not refused to accept you as if you can carry in paper bag or in wallet and whatever. You know, this popularity spree in the media of trying to say that people are carrying bags and sacks of money. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Just a minute. What is it, Honorable Tanu?
Maybe you can guide the honorable member who is seconding that when we are doing fundraising, it doesn't mean that we are doing corruption. I don't know the relevance of his contribution to this bill when he's talking about penalties only, while he wants to associate. In fact, he is imputing improper motive on the issues of fundraising, because when people out of goodwill go and contribute, that should not be seen as corruption. How is he relating the two? Thank you.
Maybe we'll have to clarify that, though imputing improper motive, I'm not so sure, because against who? But let's hear. The issue actually that I get from Honorable Tanu is the issue of relevance.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, but proceed, I hear.
I think Honorable Tanui was a bit asleep when I was describing.
The proceedings happening at the National Assembly takes us to a break, but we return with much more in just a moment.